I want this to show. Show. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? Happy Tuesday. See, my screen look a little, my camera look dirty. Let me clean my camera, y'all. Hold on. Okay, hi. What's going on? Tuesday, it's time to party. Yes, it's time to party, guys. So, has everybody been watching? Let me see if I can turn. Can y'all see me better now? Or is it still a glare? Happy Tuesday. We have so much to talk about. What's going on? Glare? Oh, God. Oh, sorry. Is this better? Yes, let's get into it. So I went and I sat in the courtroom on Monday and Friday. Thank you, Jasmine, for becoming a new member. Thank you so much. And y'all, Jasmine is my friend. We go way back to middle school. So thank you, Jasmine. But anyway, so I went to court on Friday and I went to court on Monday and I think I went to court on Tuesday. You guys, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put this in the chat just for right now. If you are trying to contact me, and you send me a message on social media, it is like 100% chance that I'm not going to see it. I can't keep up. So I'm going to post my phone number. This is my work phone number. So if you send me a text message right now, I will return you guys' calls and text when I get off of live. Keep in mind, I can only practice law in Georgia, not Texas yet, but almost Texas too. And I practice personal injury, car accident, slip and falls, and criminal law. I only practice criminal law in Fulton and Cobb County, maybe DeKalb. So if it's not one of those things, I cannot help you. So don't, get mad at me. Personal injury, criminal in Cobb and Fulton, Georgia. I can make you a referral for other places. Okay? So there you go. And there's the number. I'm taking it down. Okay. So I went in. If you are injured anywhere, you can contact me and I will help you get representation. Okay, guys, I'm trying to keep up. I'm gonna do some I'm gonna answer some questions that you guys are asking me first about my practice, and then we'll get into YSL. So I don't like to go to Clayton County. I can refer you to someone if you have a Clayton County case. I don't like Clayton County. I am to the point in my practice where I only want to do personal injury and criminal every now and then. So I only do what I know that I want to do. And going to Clayton County is not what I want to do. Okay. Anything else before I get into young slime life? Or is it young successful lifestyle? Which one is it? Either way, I'm going to start off with this because this really made my day. Let's see. What made my day? Okay, no, I don't practice any family law, but I don't practice any family law, but I can make a referral. Does everybody have the phone number? Does everybody have the phone number? Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Courtney, just text me, girl. Do you got the number? Just text me. But don't call me right now because I'm on live. I dropped it in the chat. Okay, I'm going to put it back on. I don't want to drive to Gwinnett. Gwinnett is too far. But there are a lot of great attorneys in Clayton and Gwinnett. And there are a lot of great attorneys that go to all those counties. But I prefer to stick to Cobb and I prefer to stick to Fulton because I can be a better attorney if I minimize the area that I practice in and, focus on what I think. I don't know how to say this. Well, go for what you know. Is that what they say? So I go for what I know. And I just think I do. If I start taking these cases everywhere, it's just not going to work for me. You just have to be honest with yourself and know what type of lawyer you are. And I'm not driving to Clayton and I'm not driving to Gwinnett. Okay, so everybody has the number. Send the text messages. Okay, so now back to YSL. I just want to start, I just want to start with this, guys. Nothing about this trial is, funny except for the fact that, well, never mind. I'm not even going to say it. But nothing is funny about the people whose lives are being impacted and the money that's being wasted and the time that's being wasted and all of the attorneys who have been affected, including myself. But Thugger Daily, Thugger Daily, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT, and we all know that Thugger Daily is the GOAT. Everybody put Thugger Daily in the chat. Shout out to Thugger Daily. Like, we love Thugger Daily over here. But he posted something, he or she, we don't know. And it really brightened my day, guys. Everybody's talking about Woody, 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 Woody. And I'm going to do a recap video. And we're going to talk about all kind of things. But I want to show you guys this. If you didn't see this, some of you probably already saw this, but made my day today. So let's see. Did you guys see this already? And let's go.
Yes. And the word slime, what does it mean? Good question. That's a good question. So, the S is for slow, the L is for love, the I is for I, the M is for me, and the E for everything.
The S is for slug, the L is for love. And what the I is for I, the M is for me. And what? You know the E for everything. All I broke, know the E for everything. Got BBS inside my chain, they just swinging. Oh, they just swinging.
Okay, guys. So, I mean, who are y'all? Like, when is this gonna end? Y'all talk about Woody, but we cannot forget about everybody that came before Woody. This is absolutely like when he was sitting up there and he said that initially, I'm thinking it's a joke. He came a long way with the music, the looks, the everything. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that as a key witness? Right. And we're gonna play that too. How do you guys feel about that's one of the most terrible things that I saw is the child, because that was just so crazy. And what does it really prove? I mean, I'm just tired of them trying to prove the same thing. I feel like all week, the only thing they have been the only thing that they have been doing is proving that these people know each other. I mean, yesterday when I sat in the courtroom, all I remember is just picture after picture after picture after picture. There are a few things I'm gonna show you guys today. My favorite parts about yesterday and today. And when I say favorite, I say that in a sense of the things that just stood out the most to me as far as we haven't gotten anywhere. Everything is like he say, she say. I mean, I want to play two parts I want to play from yesterday. One is the part about the coat. And she's like, "Oh, yeah, Gotti had okay, we'll get to that, but first gotta play this part." But I mean, here we go. Mhm.
That's Mr. Williams's voice.
Yeah. Okay. All right. How about 90 LL?
We'd be objecting to 90. I don't see I don't know what the relevance is of
Okay.
90.
All right. There's a relevance objection to 90 LL
And 403.
and 403.
Judge, I think it's best if we just play this
Okay.
one.
I think if we just play this.
Big Lil B, Slime, YSL, Crip Killer.
That's Mr. Williams's voice.
Based on
Directing
Let's not interrupt each other, please.
directing this child to throw up these gang signs.
Okay.
So that's what we.
So are you going to have some kind of either somebody familiar with Mr. Williams' voice to say that's him or a voice analyst to say that's him?
We would have someone that we believe is familiar enough with his voice to say that that's him.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
We have Mr. Stillwell. We're going to ask for a limiting instruction, if that's admitted.
Y'all listen to Steele's argument.
All right. Provide proposed one, please.
On behalf of
Oh, and
Mr.
then
Williams,
I'm
Your
gonna
Honor,
talk to you guys about
what is the import of this? So I understand it's prejudicial because a person may think that a young child using what I would consider gang language with their hand signs
Mm-hmm.
may be inappropriate, but why would this matter here? The lyrics are coming in. Mr. Williams is constantly changing the letter B to, or letter C to a B. Like instead of Cleveland Avenue, Believeland Avenue, there's a whole bunch of lyrics that Judge Glanville let in. There are tattoos on Mr. Williams' body that has already come in that shows the letter B and alleged other supposed gang symbols. They have introduced, they being the court has admitted into evidence exhibits showing things like a green snake or an emoji with a bee on it. I just don't understand why the child is an important part of this mission to find the truth here. And Mr. Williams' voice, I find it to be wholly prejudicial, and I find the probative value to be scant.
All right, let's hear from the state.
Let's hear
So,
from
Your Honor, as the court is aware,
Words
the rules of evidence are
Everybody
rules that
follow
favor
the
admissibility, and 403 should only be used in extreme situations. And Mr. Williams, not the state, bears the burden of showing when something is shown to be relevant, it's presumptively admissible, and he bears the burden of showing that it's prejudicial, effect substantially outweighs its probative value. And Mr. Williams has said nothing about the prejudicial effect of this video with his child,
Now it's his
Mr.
child.
Williams dictating to this child, throw up
Dictating. Wow.
YSL, Crip Killer, which are all things that Mr. Williams has attempted to distance himself from throughout the entirety of this trial. He has asserted that all of this is, not real. All of this is, just a facade. And the more that the state is able to show to the jury that this is, in fact, not a facade or not someone pinning on Mr. Williams' designations that are not accurately pinned on him, then the stronger the state's case becomes. So our argument is that Mr. Williams has in no way shown that this video is substantially more prejudicial than probative.
All right.
Your Honor, with respect to Mr. Huey, we would also chime in on the 105 instruction, but notwithstanding that, Your Honor.
And she's like,
I can hear you. I don't think that's
I'm not
working.
gonna
but I
say
can
anything
hear you anyway.
until this is done, and then I'm gonna tell you guys how I feel about this.
Can you hear me now, Judge?
Yes.
So we would also ask for the 105 instruction on behalf of Mr. Huey, but notwithstanding that, Your Honor, this is extremely prejudicial from the standpoint of having a child hold up these gang signs and so forth and so on, what appears to be gang signs. And again, this is going to be one of those scant and cumulative aspects of a piece of evidence that if the court allows it to come in, it's going to be drug in for the sake of its prejudicial effect. Clearly what 403 says we can't do. So I would ask the court to take that into consideration.
Okay, well, I'm certainly considering the appropriate law. Yes, sir, Mr. Steele.
There's also another, I can't find the exhibit number, but there's a video that came in over objection that Mr. Williams is doing something similar, or someone's doing something similar with a child.
All right, why don't y'all get me that and I'll consider whether there might be a cumulative issue here. But with regard to just 401, 403, it's certainly relevant. And I agree that it's prejudicial, which, case after case says most of the state's evidence is prejudicial against defendants. I don't think it's substantially more prejudicial than probative, considering part of the conspiracy they allege is preserving, protecting, and enhancing the reputation, power, and territory of the enterprise by the posting of messages, images, videos, and songs demonstrating alignment to the enterprise and a willingness to engage in violence on its behalf. I mean, it's wildly probative to that.
And Your Honor, we're also going to ask for a Rule 105 instruction on behalf of Mr. Kendrick. And
Okay. Well,
we
I-
echo the comments
ahead.
made by the others.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
We don't believe that a 105 instruction on this type of evidence is appropriate. It's not a testimonial piece of evidence, a testimonial statement. So we would ask that a 105 instruction not be given in instances where this is the evidence being presented. And we would also submit that Jeffrey Williams is alleged to be the leader of this gang, and in having or directing this child and other children to do things like he's doing. He is, in effect, he's starting early and starting young. That is part of the state's theory in this case,
Right.
that this gang recruits young children, and this is what it ends up being.
Judge, I think there was a piece of evidence that came in on, or we reviewed a child on yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, that we saw in an image. It was either a posting.
Yeah, but I don't remember that being anything that the child was doing in response to somebody directing them to do it. I think it seemed like the child was, I mean, I'd be happy to look at it again because
Okay, so I mean, I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about this. So let's see. I know we're all lawyers, and a lot of times they're saying these numbers and these different things. So I just want you guys to kind of understand what it actually is. So this is when they're saying 403, it's OCGA 403. And it just pretty much says that evidence which is relevant may be excluded because of the probative worth or value of the evidence is outweighed by the tendency of the evidence to confuse the issues or the jury. So when they're saying 403, they're talking about OCGA 403. And the law is pretty much saying that even though, okay, let me go back. So now that you guys remember this, because for evidence to come in at all, it has to be relevant. It has to be relevant. That is, 401. So for evidence to even come in, it has to be relevant. Okay, here is what relevant is. Any evidence is relevant which logically tends to prove or disprove, sorry guys, a material fact is at issue in the case, and every act or circumstance serving to elucidate or to throw light upon a material issue or issue is relevant. So before evidence can come in, it has to be relevant. So of course they're going to say that this evidence is relevant because you allegedly hear Mr. Williams' voice, which is another issue because who is going to see or who is going to know that is Mr. Williams' voice? It's not like, I mean, well, you know, the jury is not supposed to know any Young Thug songs or not have familiarity with Young Thug and his voice. So assuming they don't know how he sounds, then who's going to verify that is his voice? Are they going to play his voice or what? That's issue number one. Then number two is even when something is relevant, it can be kept out of evidence if its probative value outweighs its relevant. So if if its prejudicial value outweighs its probative value as evidence. So I mean, children are definitely going to be a prejudicial matter because if you put a child up, and if someone has strong beliefs about how a child should be or shouldn't be, when you put up a child on the screen and they see this child and they see them throwing up gang signs, automatically we know that's prejudicial because most people are going to be like, oh my God, he has this child doing this, doing that. And now we have the jury distracted as to whether someone is innocent or guilty because what they saw is so prejudicial. So just want you guys to know that that's what the 403 and the 401 means. It's also interesting to hear, yes, thank you. The chat is definitely, let's put that up. I hope the state is watching so that, or somebody, the judge, someone, because the chat, and they're not even the jury, we know. Convict, that's right. If I saw, this is great stuff. If I mean, you're not even, and then what does that go to show? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You're gonna attack me. I'm gonna find this clip somewhere on TikTok, but there are certain things we say and do with our children in private that we laugh at, that we probably shouldn't do, but it's all fun and games. It's all fun and games. Like, you've never laughed at your child for saying a cuss word or putting up a middle finger, but that's not something you actually would want to portray to the world as the type of parent or the type of an adult you are. So it's like, come on now, that was like a joking private moment. That doesn't mean, I might tell my daughter I can't, but at the end of the day, that doesn't mean I want her to be a gang member. Right. Okay. So I'm glad you guys agree with me, because I wasn't, and then this person right here, I wasn't, and I'm not saying I would agree with the video or disagree, but what I'm saying is it's prejudicial. On its face, it's prejudicial. Shout out to Jack in the chat. Okay. Now, another thing, I don't think that we have been able to, I haven't been on here since, but I was sitting in the courtroom when the sound was having problems, and we're watching these videos, and a lot of people asked me, and I saw Thugger Daily. I'm such a fangirl, so I have to always talk about Thugger Daily. Thugger Daily posted, I wonder if the audio sounds as bad in the courtroom as it does on the screen or on the internet. Absolutely. Absolutely. I did not understand a single word in that courtroom. I did not understand a single word in that courtroom. And then on top of that, towards the end, the last thing I remember is seeing Detective Gaither and whoever else, maybe Detective Thorpe, and all they're doing is like banging on a table and screaming at Woody. And everybody in the courtroom is so confused. We're like, what is this? And to me, I'm just confused, because it appears that the only evidence that they have is evidence that these people know each other, and that these people went to the club together, and that, I haven't heard anything specific about any crime. And like you guys know, I haven't been following from the beginning, but I haven't sat in that courtroom and heard them ever talk about the crime. I just keep hearing them trying to prove that they know each other. Now, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's pretty much what I've heard. But okay, so let's see. And you guys, if you are messaging me while I am on here, it is really hard for me to. So I'm just going to play some clips for you from this, because I just want to show you guys what. Stop. Present. Share screen. I mean,
I'm not gonna leave Forest County out, you know that. I'm gonna stay here.
Is he singing? I didn't even know he was singing, guys. Is he singing the song while he's listening? Wow. So we can hear him singing better than we can hear actually what's being presented. I just want you guys to listen to this.
These people know how they do this. These people, they don't want to kill me, they want to kill me. Honestly, I was, when I heard about killing, was eating these thugs that somebody kill me. You know what I'm saying? I really learned about them from the beginning. Know what I mean? The show they did, okay, like you said, I kind of figure who it was. Know what I mean? Like, dang, they ain't, know what I mean? I ain't worried about nobody else doing that too. Know what I mean? I just can't explain it. Like, this young man, bro. Mr. Courtroom, okay, I'm gonna break it down to you like this.
I have no clue what
I
that.
mean it from the heart and from the soul. Protect you even as a victim felon, but that's but you want to deal with what you did. You walked in there with that gun.
This is
I was giving them these. But it don't matter. You knew you want to fall back. Nobody did. Go out and carry a gun because you
oh,
need
it's
to
in the courtroom
Crazy
listening.
if you
Like,
get caught in a
what's going on?
situation, you gotta use it. There are certain laws that will protect you even as a victim felon, but that's not giving you the fucking okay to go carry a gun. You know that. You're not going to jail for nothing else but for what you did. You didn't want, I haven't been participating in gang though, but you have already been categorized as a gang member. And this particular gun,
That's
we can
a
say this was purchased by someone else, a gang member, Cornelius, who has been the one that caught with us from a gang for shooting. So therefore, anything that has to do with him comes back on you. And you already have your affiliation going on. That was reckless conduct that you did by fucking taking your shirt off, playing basketball for 37 minutes while a fucking gun is laying on the damn thing. Like he said, a kid comes up in the bag and saw a Christmas ball. Look at this, and actually pull a trigger, blew somebody's fucking head off. Then you would be charged with murder. So you get charged for what you did. You did. We didn't make you do this. We didn't tell you to go tell when there's a gun off for you in the first place. You did. You try to help us. So go ahead and talk about my morning. Hey, Shay, how you doing? Your friend, who is that? Hey, I don't want to do it that way, but I don't want to do it that way. Hey, Shay, you shut up. It's not how to do it. It doesn't work like that. It's not. It doesn't work like that. I was told y'all in the beginning then. It's not. You know how it was January though. You been in here 5 times. I know, but the nigga taking them kind of like, hey, what up, hey? You gotta worry about you. You know how it is. If I'm on your case, or this man on your case, this man on your case, we don't work like that. I can't speak for fucking BB and the rest of them, but I can speak to them folks. I'm speaking for the work that I do, and I'm not gonna put you out like that if you helping me with some shit.
Look,
If you
I'm
say
not
that
gonna
like
put you
John
out like
Silent,
you helping
I'm gonna
me.
treat you as John Silent.
Look who's put
So
out.
what did I tell you the first time we fucking spoke? I
Uh-uh.
said, Constance, I know you know more about what's fucking going on than you let out. You take me to a trip to fucking New York through fucking California. I'm a straight type dude. I don't do fucking layovers. I don't have no fucking time for that. Okay? You wasted everybody's time to get going. All the do been avoided. A lot of it could have been avoided. From January 10th, what's the day? Today is your new year. So we found out 6 months. This is 6 months to the end. If you would have said it from the beginning, he could have did his job. And I don't remember this all the way up. There would be no need for you to be in this situation. Because everybody would took their eyes off my side in a situation like what was it? Who? And y'all still fucking boy. Y'all don't fuck with y'all still fucking boy. Alright, cool. I'm happy with that. And boy still walking around with his head. I fuck with everybody and I'm out. Yeah. But listen what I'm saying there though. It is. I mean, I'm just sharing things like, hey, everybody gonna see this. Like, everybody gonna see what? They gonna see it. It's either they're gonna see it with you standing next to them, or you're gonna see it when you're away from them. Either way it goes, they're gonna see it. As a matter of fact, you know what?
They're gonna see it.
You took a jailhouse picture with fucking little Tick.
With
Okay? And I know with Tick. Take a jailhouse picture with Tick.
You have
Okay, so I mean, of all of that just happened, I don't think I understood any single word, and it's just so much yelling, and it seems like the initial pressure and coercion starts there. I mean, there are like three people, one room, they're banging on tables, they're cursing them out, all kind of stuff. And on top of that, we can't hear. I don't know what they're saying. It's just a mess. This is a mess. And I see you guys talking about Mr. Copeland and his suit. What did you guys think about when he came to court in that suit? What did you think was going to happen with that? I am really really interested to see what you got. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, guys. So I know most of you guys probably already saw this. And do we all know who Attorney Kramer is? She is the young lady who is running against the current district attorney, Fonnie Willis. And this is what she says. Let's read it. She is challenging DA Fonnie Willis to dismiss the YSL trial immediately. Some of the key, no apparent justice in sight. Prosecutors who have repeatedly been admonished for lack of trial preparation. Endless amounts of taxpayer dollars. And if I'm elected, I promise to end this prosecution immediately, release the accused, and dismiss the YSL case as my first official action. What do you think, guys? What do you think? A lot of people have been saying that she's still going to lose because this is just an attempt to win the vote, and the people who care about this aren't going to vote. And also, a lot of people are saying that she has very, very little to no criminal experience and she's young, but honestly, I don't think it can get much worse than what's going on right now. I don't know. I'm doing some more research and I'm trying to see, I definitely don't, well, I can't say that. So in court the other day, a good point was made. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but Judge Whitaker said, hey, you to the defense, you guys filed a speedy. So you had to be prepared for whatever came at you. But she then goes and she says to the state, when you indicted this case, and now we're going to get into this, when you indicted this case, you should have anticipated that a speedy would have been filed. And so you should have had enough evidence and you should have had your case ready once indicted. So let's go over this. So the timeline for a criminal case is usually, we talked about this before, you get charged, you're arrested, you have first appearance. Most people go get a bond at first appearance if they don't have crazy criminal histories or certain charges. Then somewhere down the line, you get indicted. After you get indicted, you get arraigned. An arraignment is where they formally read your charges. Most people waive indictment because, hey, I know what I'm charged with. I don't need you to read my indictment. Then after the arraignment, you have a plea calendar, a final plea calendar, and then you have a trial calendar. And so you have opportunities to take a plea. If you don't take the plea, then of course you go to trial. But if you file a speedy trial, you have a constitutional right to a speedy trial. And with that being said, we know that this is far from a speedy trial because it's been going on for what month are we in? Do you guys know what month? I know we're on like day 115. So yeah, not a speedy trial, but a speedy trial. When you have a case that when you have, and thank you for the super chat, when you have a case that is prepared for indictment, you present it to the grand jury. The grand jury, then you present the evidence and they decide if you have enough to true bill it. And true bill means move forward with the indictment. Most of the time, when they present the grand jury, you have your officer come testify, or you have someone from the prosecutor's team that works in intake, and they present the file to the grand jury. These people say, yes, we think this is enough. No, we don't. 90% of the time it's indicted. So these people are indicted. Once you're indicted, you're supposed to be ready to go. Ready to go. But we haven't gotten anywhere for the most part. No, I have not spoken to Woody's new attorney. I haven't even seen him. You guys know Woody wasn't here yesterday when I was in the courthouse. So, there would have been no need for his attorney, but there would have been no need for me to speak to him. Guys, remember, I was only a stand-in attorney. I was just standing in. So back to the Kramer situation. I don't know what's going to happen next. I haven't heard anything else from her. So I'm anticipating to see what her new moves are going to be, and if things are going to be aligned where we are able to support her. Yes, I definitely saw that. Shout out to Miss Sylvia. I'm not sure what exactly happened. I did talk to her and make sure she was okay, because I know what it's like to have YouTube issues, and I think she's in much better spirits, and I hope that she can get her channel back. I definitely hope she can get her channel back. Okay, hi everybody that is just joining us. Thank you so much. I see we got a few more followers on here, subscribers, whatever you call them. I don't know, guys. But I still feel like nothing has been done. I don't know what's going to happen the rest of this week. I know one thing I wanted to talk about too was we got, oh, thank you, Kat, for sending everybody over here. The pill situation. Okay, hold on, let's see. Let me see if I can find that for you guys.
You intrinsic. Okay.
I'm gonna pull this up for you so you know what we're talking about. Because somebody said that is something to talk about. Okay, right here, guys.
The one intrinsic, alleged
Hold on, I'm
intrinsic.
gonna rewind this because this is funny. I didn't even hear this.
Preliminary ruling, subject to revisiting, okay?
And Judge, there was one other thing. I don't know that it'll have any bearing on the court's ruling, but in that instance where Mr. Stillwell, where the drugs were found in Mr. Stillwell's cell, there were, Miss Hilton pulled up the photograph that I asked her to, and there was a shank.
Is the shank inscribed YSL? Then
No,
it doesn't,
no.
I mean, it makes Mr. Stillwell look bad, but it's not intrinsic.
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Yes.
if I may,
Yes.
before you make a decision on the one intrinsic, alleged intrinsic act that was referenced by the state involving the supposed passing of a Percocet pill from Mr. Khalif Adams to Mr. Williams, I would ask that the court at least go and take a look at the video that was referenced by the state. I think it's instructive. I also think that well, fortunately for us, paints a different picture than was recited by Madam Prosecutor. I think the events did not occur in the manner that she referenced. I was present. I was sitting right next to Mr. Williams. I think the video will show something being passed to Mr. Williams, not him hiding his hand underneath the table or bringing it out and then giving it to the deputy, or the deputy saying, give it here. It didn't happen that way. And I think that goes into the analysis of exactly what happened.
All right, why don't you just tell me what you recall or what you think the video shows?
Sure. What I recall, and what I know happened, because I was sitting right next to Mr. Williams in the front of the courtroom, is that it was a break. Mr. Adams, who was sitting in the rear part of the courtroom, came up, and as he was going towards that door, goes as though he's going to give Mr. Williams a high five or a dap or something like that, and put something in his hand. There's a deputy who's standing about 2 feet in front of Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams looks surprised. Mr. Williams has it in his hand and puts it down on the table immediately. There is no putting hand under the table to try and conceal it. The deputy, who I was within earshot of, did not say, give it here. Mr. Williams looks at it and puts it down on the table, and that's it. Okay. And at which point another deputy sees Mr. Adams and either takes him, I don't remember if they took him in the back or brought him back here. Okay. He was searched in the back, as I understand it. I think court recessed after that because of those occurrences, but that's how the incident actually occurred.
Okay. Can y'all send me that video?
Yes, and the deputy, the lieutenant, would also be a witness to what I'm saying.
All right, well, I mean, I would imagine the video shows what happened. So.
It does.
It does indeed speak for itself.
Well, we'll come back to those two. All right, so that takes care of the allegedly intrinsic, but according to the defense, can't be intrinsic because they happen later in time than the indictment acts. What about the other intrinsic or allegedly intrinsic?
Okay. So do you guys remember the whole situation where the guy Khalif allegedly walks up to the table? And my whole thing was, how was somebody able to walk across the courtroom past multiple deputies? You got a deputy standing right there and hand him a pill. And then if you see, I'm gonna find a video for you guys. If you see his face, you can tell he has no idea what's going on. Who knows what day that was from? He has no idea. He's just sitting there. That was on January 20th. Okay, I'm finna show it to y'all. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Like, what is going on? What? So this is the video they're talking about. Look at him. He comes from all the way back there. They're walking. Nobody, like, he's looking like, what's going on? At this point, guys, it's out of control. It's just out of control. I mean, I'm just really at a loss of words. And even in all the videos that we go through and we play and we look at, I don't see anything. I still haven't heard any evidence. I still haven't heard any evidence. It's crazy. And I think they say something about is there a crime lab that came back on it? Like, I guess it went to GBI. You guys are so funny. This is what? Why? I just got my hair done. This is so funny. She done got a boo. So funny. This is so funny. I had to take a picture of this, y'all. This is hilarious. Okay, guys. So I just want to get in and say hello to you guys. I am not neglecting you. I am working. I have spoke to Melnick. I have to call him when I get off of live. We are doing a great job working together, and he's going to be okay. Make sure you keep him in your prayers. Keep him in your prayers. And I appreciate you guys supporting me, and I'm going to keep going and keep giving you some information. Also, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to try to get some recaps going, so people who just are tuning in since June 10th, June 12th, can kind of know what's going on and get brought up to speed. But I thank you guys for always getting on, and make sure you become a member. I have member only content. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you later on this week. Thank you. Love y'all.